Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising, welcome to your lunar eclipse reading. This eclipse is taking place in Scorpio, your 10th house, and it's a time of the full moon, so the sun is going to be there in Taurus. There will still be some impacts from the solar eclipse that took place in Taurus on April 30th, so if you have not watched that reading, maybe visit that down below as well if you want. The link will be there. I will shuffle your cards for tarot. Meanwhile, I will discuss the astrology that is taking place here. Okay, so 4th and 10th house axes are quite, this axis is quite pivotal, right? So it's about our home and family, how we are in our private life, what we are when no one's watching, versus 10th house, which is who we are when everyone's watching on the stage. And what goals we have, the reputation we have, what career are we building, what is our height, right? So these are quite important houses here. And we have Saturn squaring the lunar nodes, and also this eclipse time. And whenever Saturn squares the nodes, karmic breakthroughs come in. So any repetitive patterns that are not good for our evolution moving forward is now going to keep continuing and will be asked to be removed. There will be some changes that happen in either your career sector or your home sector has already begun, and having that ripple effect on the opposite side is going to be further emphasized. There can be some constraints you feel because squares come with restrictions, Saturn being the planet of restrictions. There can be some tension or struggle that takes place because of the squares with your home and your work. Perhaps you're spending a long time at work, or you're needing to spend quite a while at work, but you know, you also need to take your rest, and you might feel pulled in two very opposite directions. But along with the squares, we have two trines as well. We have Pluto retrograde trining the Sun, North Node, and Mercury retrograde. That's your 12th house and your 4th house. So there can be, how do you relax? How do you recuperate? That can be shifting and changing. And Pluto being retrograde, the way you relate with the spiritual world, that can also be shifting. You might find yourself relying on some spiritual means to get you through this time, or you know, you find more transformative experiences as you succumb to these things. There can also be a surrendering of power or surrendering of control at the workplace or in yourself, and that allows you to relax and unwind much faster. 12th house is quite mysterious, but that trining the 4th house and getting that, you know, you will figure out a way to relax even if you're not technically at home. There's just different things that you're trying here that help you get back to your strength again. Okay, and this is Saturn's philosophy, is that when something is constrictive, when you don't have many options, you start thinking very creatively. It forces us to imagine things that we had not thought of as possibilities before, and that's how we become that inventive self that is Aquarius, right? More innovation, more creativity. Yeah, any blocks that are hidden in your shadows, that can also be coming up to your awareness. For some reason, I feel like I don't know this for real, okay? But Pluto retrograde is already turning inward and transforming things inward. And 12th house is a very hidden house as well. And that is very in and very personal. It's highly spiritual. And yes, it connects to the oneness of all, but it is also about, well, in the human incarnation here, in the human self, I would say the merging, and that the merging experience can be different for each and every person. Even if we are moving towards the same ideals and the same goals, we still feel it differently. It holds a different space within our hearts. So I feel like it is going to be further enhanced here. There can be a lot of enlightening experiences that can take place here for you because of the activity in the 12th house, and that can positively influence the way that you live at home, or what else you want to incorporate at home. What do you need to feel more at home? What do you need your base to be like? What things are taking place within that can come to more clarity as well. Okay, then the next trine here is the Neptune and Mars in Pisces, your second house, with the 10th house. So there can be more financial resources coming up. There can be more resources that you're manifesting for yourself, financial or otherwise. There is a boost of self-esteem here based on the work you've done in public or work you wish to be doing and how you are showing up in the world. There can just be a good boost of motivation here. So you've been given compliments, and that, you know, increases your self-worth, or you achieved a certain goal that you were you had to go through a lot to get to this point, and you're giving yourself more credit. What else? You're also kind of moving more towards what is my priority in life, and is this how I want to show up in the world, and how can I further enhance my image, or how can I set my next challenges or next goals and move towards them, things like that. Okay, so even if Saturn is posing questions to your career and to your home life and asking you how you are able to balance it, or if you are able to balance it, we are getting help from our inner self, and also the material resources, our personal resources, and using all that, we're able to move forward in a constructive manner. Okay, so I'll shuffle a couple more, and then we will get started with your tarot. We'll take these two, and Aquarius. Yeah, so we have two squares and we have two trines. Trines are blessings and support, some benefits, some opportunities that can come along, but they, you know, pass by if we don't make use of them. Of course, that goes for every opportunity. So make use of them, and the point of talking about all this is that we can look in that direction and we can catch it the moment we see the support coming around, right? Okay, so we have Three of Swords first. We have Seven of Wands. We have Eight of Cups. Allowing you to move on from childhood conditioning or trauma, that's as well a possibility with Pluto retrograde in the 12th. That's releasing and surrendering the hardships. And that is trining the 4th house of home and family, and the 4th house is also childhood and upbringing, childhood home ideally, where, you know, your family has been there and you have grown up in. So there can be some breakthroughs in that regard as well, but it depends what your life journey is and what your current situation is as well. So we have Page of Swords next, then we have the Lovers, and we have the Hermit. Yeah, definitely introspection is a big key here. Whenever the 12th house, 4th house are a part of things, and even the 8th house, there is a deep level of introspection that goes on. We need to retreat in order to make sense of our lives, of ourselves, and observe things a little bit without getting very affected by things. And with the Hermit here, again, you're meditating and you're connecting to the collective oneness, but you are doing so by becoming more of your individual nature, right? One is not separate from all. And as an Aquarius, that should not be a surprising philosophy, right? So there is more of that going on, okay? Recognizing yourself in a different light, seeing yourself differently, leaving behind toxic patterns and attachments, things that have hurt you in the past, things that hurt you now, including qualities within yourself and belief systems within yourself that, again, are not helping you, right? Those things need to go, and you need to embrace more of that empowerment and stand true to your word and do what you believe in, do what you truly desire, and not care about the rest. Again, very inherent to an Aquarius, this particular quality. Okay, then with the Lovers, you're making different choices. That's possible. Perhaps the achievements you've made so far is not personally fulfilling for you, and you want something different for yourself. And it's about making that choice, however impactful it will be for the future, you're considering the different options. Are you considering this thought? You're entertaining the idea that there might be some change coming in, or that you want to initiate some change and you don't really know how to go about it yet, but you're willing to put in the research and the work that goes into learning about this new path. Okay, that's for some of you. And others, this can be talking about that communication and that research and the digging that you're doing is happening more inward. You're asking relevant questions to yourself. I'm feeling a bit of self-therapy as well. Yeah. Okay, let's see what else we have. The sacred flow of yes, very Piscean. Going with the flow. Fill your cup with sacred giggles. Magician. Magic happens when you most expect it. Yeah, making things happen for yourself. It's sort of like that. It's kind of like when we are trying to manifest something, like, okay, yes, I'm saying the words that yeah, I can do it. Yes, I am this. Yes, I am this and that, and so on and so forth, all the technical words, right? But we don't actually believe it. Fooling ourselves to believe it is not actually believing it, right? So we're not truly expecting it in that situation. There is that little part of us which is like, oh my God, please work, please work, please work. So we're not expecting it to happen, right? We're hoping it would happen. And that's fine as well. Hope is great too. But in this particular case, I feel like the little part of you that does not expect it is kind of still in disbelief that the position can be reached, or that balance can be struck, and that you can relax, you can have fun in an ideal setting. You can have the home of your wishes or the family of your wishes and still have a strong career and so on. This was just an example, but I give that home example because we have 44 going on and there is a lot of activity in your 4th house, so there can be shifts and changes in the home environment as well. So my point was that when you figure out what that little voice is saying and why it is saying that, not just to tear you down, but really there might be some blocks within you that make it difficult for you to believe in what you wish to create, or what do you wish to stand for, right? Or what you believe you can stand for. Yeah? That's the thing to uncover. That's where there needs to be some healing, because 3 of Swords, it might be coming through some trauma. And no, I can work as much as I want, or I can, there's no way that family and career can be united. These are 2 very separate things. You cannot just equate one with the other. There can be a very clear divide between 2 different areas of your life, and that divide might also be symbolic of what's going on within your mind, right? So that little hesitation, I feel, is being removed here, or you're removing voluntarily. That self-therapy coming up again. And so now when you remove that reasoning, you are now fully believing in everything that you want to create. So you're expecting it. And from that place, like, yep, I will and I am making this happen for myself, magic also happens. Speaking of magic, I mentioned the Magician here with the 21. So it tells me doing things that make you feel good, which you are drawn to. Your instinct tells you to do something that just feels very harmonious and true to who you are. And we have you are living poetry, recognizing your worth, you know. Being an Aquarius, there can be the feeling of I'm very different from everyone, I'm misunderstood, I'm unique, and, you know, I have my own quirks, and it is not, you know, socially accepted as the norm, and so on and so forth. There can be an air of feeling left out at some point or another in life, but the lesson as an Aquarius is that you embrace your own beauty, right? You know that you are unique, and that's awesome, right? You know you are that, and you embrace it. You are living poetry, so you embrace the life story that you have had so far. And you take these difficulties and coming challenges as well as something you can learn from and something you can grow from, because you really are growing. The level of wisdom that the Hermit has and the amount of consciousness it needs to make conscious choices is very undersold, right? And when you go through these journeys of having a difficult time, having your challenges, but standing up for yourself regardless, following your own path regardless, and doing amazing at it, it can feel unreal, okay? But when you do that yourself, you recognize just how much goes into becoming the lovers and the hermit here, right? Or creating that in your life. Okay, wow. Then we have grow, and we have ready. So ready to grow, that's what I would say here. Yes. Then we have new start and wisdom, domestic happiness and devoted affection, close connections with family, eternal memories, and immersion and intuition. The Pisces coming up, the self-therapy again, just immersing yourself in the moment, allowing that intuition to shine, and following through with that intuition as well. Making memories with your family, but also with career achievements that are coming up. Because the South Node is there in Scorpio, it can also be for some of you that you leave behind a job that does not make you feel good, okay? But you're not upset about that. You're like, no, this just has to be done. You know, again, you know who you are, okay? If you're on the verge of making this decision, then this might be you. But it's not for everybody. In the beginning, I was getting a retirement vibe, but I don't know how many of that age group watch my videos. But anyway, that was as well a vibe that you leave the job to focus on family, or you want to leave the job and do something at home instead. Yeah. Or move to a different job which allows you to work from home, so you can somehow combine these two different qualities. Yeah, okay, and domestic happiness, devoted affection, that can be love from family members and siblings and your home. New start and wisdom, yeah, that's the hermit there, and you're beginning with clean slate with the hermit here, the 8 of cups. You're like leaving behind these toxicities and don't need them anymore in my new life. Thank you very much for the lessons, bye-bye. Okay, this pattern will not repeat again. So I will begin with renewed hope, renewed excitement. I want to learn many things. I want to explore this whole new world and see what else is out there for me, and just enjoy the journey as it happens. Okay, then we have, I recognize that I have chosen fear, and I choose again, I choose love. Then we have, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition, and my fearless freedom lights up the world. This to me is the 7 of Wands. Okay, that perspective shift and recognizing the fear thing, this is a very hermit and self-therapy reflection on things, getting a new perspective. Yeah. And seeing how your inner thoughts, or your inner self, your inner patterns, and your past, your childhood as well, how your conditioning is changing your experiences, okay? How your conditioning has made your reality happen. So there can be a breakthrough in ancestral patterns as well, or familial patterns too, okay? And Aquarius is all about breaking free. It's about freedom, being a rebel to the norm in order to break free of a cycle that does not work anymore. So Saturn being there, it's like, hey, you gotta work for it, right? You don't just break open and do things in a destructive manner. Instead, we do this the right way. We try to figure things out, we think things through, we make steps happen, whether it is mental or emotional or tangible or physical, and we make it happen the right way such that you get the freedom you need instead of just any that comes along the way, right? So there is more clarity with Pluto retrograde in the 12th house of what you need to be striving towards, of what makes you feel good, what is fulfillment for you, what is that purpose for you. And with that trining the 4th house, there is just a renewed sense of stability in your resolve, in what you want to be creating, and a higher priority towards your home and family sector. Okay, let's see your guidance now. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what guidance would you give them for this eclipse? There can be I don't see the 7th house here in the astrology, but there can be a significant other or a very close friend, someone very soulmate-like in your life who has a notable impact on you. Yeah. Okay, that's again for some of you. We have Eagle. You are learning all aspects of spiritual connection and reaching new heights. Yeah, perhaps changing something within your dynamic. This can be someone you consider family as well. It doesn't have to be necessarily biological relationships. Right, someone you consider family and is noteworthy, is a soulmate. Okay, with Finch, we have new opportunities and choices are opening to you now. Claim them. Yes, a new beginning, new choices with the Lovers there. And we have White Eagle, 2 eagles coming up. The connection to divine guidance is within you. So follow your inner compass, follow your intuition, and move forward with that. Okay, just trust it, because yeah, it'll take you to the right places. And with the 2 eagles, it's that heightened awareness, having that huge level of perception. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Aquarians. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope this reading helped you out. Let me know your thoughts, and if you want a personal reading, you can always reach me via my Etsy shop. The link is in the description box and comment below. There is a limited coupon code as well running, so if you want, you can avail that. But I hope to see you again in some of my other readings. Until then, take care.